How to start a blog using Google's free blogging platform. Let's get to it. What's going on, everybody? My name is David, websitecreativepro.com. So in this blogger tutorial, I'm going to walk you through step 1 to step done on how to create a blog with its own custom domain name that's powered by Blogger. Now, the reason why you'd want to use Blogger over, say, WordPress is basically two main reasons, in my opinion. Number one would be if you're looking for a solution where you have completely free web hosting, which I think is the biggest selling point of Blogger. Edgeofdavid.com is my personal Blogger blog. It's powered by Blogger, gets over 100 visitors a day, makes money, and I'm not paying for web hosting. And it's just wonderful. It's just an asset that just generates a little bit of money on the side for me. And I think that's something that's really cool about Blogger, that you can do that. Because with Blogger, you have control over the on-page SEO more so than you do with, say, like Google Sites. So you can actually build an asset that actually gets traffic and can make money. Now, Blogger is ideal if you're creating a more of a personalized blog. Maybe you're like a YouTuber and you want to create a blog to go along with your videos, or maybe you just want to create like a travel guide on the city you're living in, etc. Blogger is ideal for that. Like if you're someone who wants to build like a big massive website that's going to be like a sellable asset, then you probably should go with WordPress. But if you're okay with building a nice Blogger blog, maybe it makes a few $100s on the side, it's like a passive income thing, it's just a little side project you do for fun, that's when you should use Blogger. So if you're ready to get started, make sure to check the links in the description for various timestamps and any resources mentioned in this video. So let's get started. So the first step with getting started with creating our blog with Blogger is that we're going to need a domain name to set as our custom domain name. Now, with domain name registrars, I have other videos on this channel where I cover this topic in greater detail, but in general, most people are kind of familiar with GoDaddy as a place to get your .com. Google Domain Names is another spot, and this has really nice integration with Blogger. It just kind of, because Blogger is owned by Google Domain Names, obviously. But I would personally like to keep my domain name separate. You know, I don't want to have all my services with Google, and honestly, GoDaddy is just way too expensive for registering a .com. .coms at GoDaddy are, you know, $17.99 a year. It's very expensive. Whereas Namecheap, you get a lot better price. So to get started with Namecheap, because this is the domain name register that I use, and I only recommend stuff that I use. So I use Namecheap. I'm really happy with the service and the price. So anyways, just go here to this big search box and just type in whatever you're searching for. So my amazing blog.com, and then we'll click on the search box. Okay, now it's going to come up and tell us if our domain name is available to register. Okay, so my amazing blog is not registered, not available. So it says make offers, so that means I have to basically try again. So to get started again, we just come back up here and my amazing blog today. just keep adding words to it. Okay, and now it says $8.88 a year. There we go. And now all you have to do is click add to cart. And all right, let's go view item. And let's click on checkout. Okay, and now with Namecheap, what you get is WhoIsGuard for free, and you get 24/7 support with your domain name if you have any questions, and that is it. And so all you have to do is basically confirm your order. You'll have to create a Namecheap account, and now you have your very first domain name. And this is a proper domain name register, so whenever you want to have domain names, you can just log into your Namecheap account and get new .coms, and that's it. And so basically, you get it for 1 year. Now, a lot of people maybe who are very new to domain names are sometimes surprised by this, but you can only get a domain name for a year at a time. So if you want, you can go ahead and register for years in advance. Personally, I would probably do like 2 years maybe, and then after 2 years, I would go ahead and then register, for 5 years or 6 years if your website sticks around, and that's it. Then WhoIsGuard just protects your personal information because when you sign up to a domain name register and you own a domain name, you have to submit contact information. It's an ICANN regulation. So that's ICANN is just the body that manages domain names and the DNS system. But you get WhoIsGuard for free with Namecheap forever, whereas like GoDaddy charges for this and other domain name registers charge for this. And so that's basically it. So just go ahead and confirm your order, and that is it, and you are good to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our Blogger blog. So Blogger is a hosted platform that's owned by Google. Very simple to get started. You just Google Blogger, and that's it. And then it's blogger.com. It's right here. So we just open this up, and now you have to have a Gmail account and sign in. So this is my Blogger blog, which is just my personal site called Edge of David, and it's right here. So let's go ahead and create a brand new blog. So I'll just click this little drop down, I'll click on new blog, and then you personally, once you sign into Blogger with your Gmail, you should be looking at something like this. And so right here you have your option to have a title, and you have your option to have your address. Okay, so basically your title of your site is, you can always change this later, but give it whatever the name is of the site. So for example, like my personal blog is Edge of David, right? So that's what the title of the blog is. So like whatever your blog is. So I'll go ahead and say this is my travel forever blog. Okay, and then the address right here, your address is going to be a subdomain of blogspot.com. This is not a big deal because we're going to be using a custom domain name. So you can just go ahead and I would try and keep it something identical. So like, for example, with my personal Blogger blog, it's literally Edge of David at Blogspot. And so, that's why, and then I have it redirecting to edgeofdavid.com. So you could just do something similar. So I'll just call this like travel forever Blogspot. Okay. All right, so sorry, this address is not available. Travel forever blog. There we go. Okay, this blog address is available. Okay, and now we can go ahead and just create a blog. Now here you have your different themes. Again, you can always select this later, but then that's it. Go ahead and create blog. Click on that big orange button. Okay, and so welcome to Blogger. That's literally all you have to do. It's very, very simple. And so with Blogger, you have your posts here, you have your stats about how many people have been viewing your sites, comments, earnings, pages, layout. So let's go through this. So comments, basically, people who have a Gmail account can comment on your blog. You can turn that on or off as you want. The stats function is honestly, it's pretty useless because it doesn't provide accurate stats. That's why we want to go ahead and install Google Analytics, which I'll show you later in the tutorial. Only reason is because like you have like spiders and bots that hit your site and it's counted as a view, but it's not really a view. If you're wondering what's a spider, what are you talking about? Like search engine spiders basically crawl and index web pages across the internet. And so you'll have that, and that'll be counted as a hit, as a view, but it's not actually a view, if that makes sense. It's a robot hitting your site. Okay, so let's go to earnings. Okay, so earnings is basically you can make money with Google AdSense on your Blogger blog. Basically, you just have to get your blog to a high enough traffic level, enough blog posts, enough attention, and then eventually, I know it's strange. It's really strange because eventually this page will turn into an option where it says you can apply for AdSense and add AdSense to your site. Now, if you already have an AdSense account, and you have a site that's already accepted, I guess you could just go ahead and manually add in Google AdSense as you want to the site. You don't have to wait for this, but again, if you just want to do things the right way and just wait for this to pop up and turn on where it says you can apply and etc., you can do that. Okay, so then pages is basically similar to what you would see in like WordPress, where you can create an about page, contact page, etc. Layout is where you can change the different theme, and you have basically the layout of the different sections of your site about how to change things. And then we have the theme, where you can change basically the look and feel of your site. And so, Blogger has a lot of actually nice themes because this is actually updated. This is not a service that Google has abandoned. And so personally, my personal favorite is Emporio. I personally think this design looks best for me personally. This is the one I use on Edge of David right here, this gray, and then you can just change the colors just a little bit, but it's really up to you. They have all these different templates. I would say up to Essential right here is nice, and then that's it. So I would say like Essential, Notable, and Emporio and Soho are the really nice themes. You can upload your own custom theme, which I'll show you later how to do that, about like places you could get your own theme from. So if you don't like any of these and you don't want to use any of these, you can. Only reason I say that is because after we get past like Essential right here, we have like Simple and Dynamic, and like these are starting to look really dated. Like this is like like that's straight out of like 2012. So so you want to use a more recent theme or upload your own. And then the last is you have your settings section. And so, settings is basically where you can have your basic idea for like your title of your site, which you can edit here. Description, and description is basically the meta description for the site. So for example, what I mean is like if I go to Edge of David and then we'll search for that. Okay, and then we have Edge of David right here. So it's Edge of David, page separator, find your edge, enjoy life. And then, and then we have this kind of content right here. So this is the page title and this is the meta description. Let me just search for this instead. Okay, so find your edge, enjoy life. Okay, and so this is, okay, right here. This is my YouTube channel. This is the site. So personal development website with articles on money, travel, personal growth strategy, and more. And so that's the page title. This is the meta description. You change that by literally jumping into here. You can change the page title. So for example, what I did was you should start off the homepage with the site title. So it's like my edge of David, and then page separator, and then keyword, right? That's basically how you should do it, like keyword phrase that describes the site. And then you want to have your description right underneath this. Let me just go ahead and click that. And so your description, this box that you type in here is going to be propagated right here. So just make sure to incorporate key phrases and a description that makes sense. And then right down here is where you can change the blog address. So that's what we're going to do in the next section about how to set up a custom domain name. HTTPS, just leave this as is, and then you have blog authors there. Okay, and then you have posts, comments, and sharing. Okay, so basically this is just how many blog posts do you want to have seen on your homepage. So you can change this to like 7, 8, 9. If we just go ahead and take a look at my personal blogger blog, we'll just go ahead and open it up. And so I have 3, 6, 9, right? And so why is it showing 9? Why is it not showing 6? Or how do I make it show 12? You just change that right there. So right now it's by default, it's at 7, that's it. All right, and so now we have post template, and so this is basically nothing that you need to like really pay attention to because it's just like a specific blog post template about the way the blog post would be laid out. It's not something that you really need to adjust. Showcase images with lightbox. A lightbox is something that like pops up over the image, over the web page. Not like see, it's not a big thing. Like this is like this isn't like the kind of like how this is popping up a little bit. That's kind of like a lightbox. So I mouse over that. Again, not a big thing. Embed comment location, okay, who can comment, comment moderation. So if you want to turn on or off comments, you can just do that here. Email, so email basically allows you to publish to your blog via email. That's a really old feature. I don't think that's very useful. You're just gonna want to log in with your laptop and write a blog post. Then language, you can change your language to anything that you want. Then search preferences, and so meta tags disabled, errors and redirection, custom page not found. So like you can set up a custom 301 page, custom redirects if you can add in your own custom redirect. So you can redirect to like one page to a different page. You'd want to do that with like say like affiliate links, or maybe if you deleted a blog post and then you want to just redirect it back to the home page so people don't get a 301 error, etc. You just do all that stuff right there. Crawlers and indexing, just leave this as is. Okay, so basically crawlers and indexing means like your blog will be crawled and indexed by search engine spiders. So we just want to leave that as is. And next we have other. And so, here it's like you have site feed, adult content, Google Analytics. This is where we can set up analytics and we can import and back up our content as we want. And then we have last is user settings. And that is basically a user profile. We can edit the user profile. So your user profile will be like your name and a description and all this other stuff that you can add in to your blog page. So like when you're publishing as an author, if you want to have, like male, female, your homepage URL, your location, interest, like you can set up a whole profile for yourself if you want. Not a big deal. I mean, personally, I just, I don't do that. I personally just have an about page, which is about me. I don't really worry too much about that, and I don't really have my name as I'm the author everywhere. But again, if you want to go ahead and set up a user profile, you can go ahead and do that. But anyways, that's a broad overview of blogger.com. So let's go ahead and set up a custom domain name in Blogger. It's very simple. So what we need to do is just go to settings, go to basic, and then right here where it says the blog address, this is where you can set up a third-party URL for your blog. And so I recommend using Namecheap. You should have gotten your domain name at Namecheap. You don't have to though. It works with any register. I just personally like Namecheap. Anyways, let's go ahead and click on this third-party domain. Now we can type in our domain name there. So let me just show you an example. This is what most people do. They go here and they do super amazing blog.com, and then they click on save, and then it says naked domain names are not supported. What does that mean? It means you have to use www. So let me go ahead and put www.superamazingblog.com. blog.com, and then we click on save. And now it's going to give us some information that we need to put into the DNS settings for our domain name. And if you're just wondering, like with www, GHS, Google, 64, whatever, and then this random thing, what is this? Basically, this is pointing our domain name to Google, and this basically says like, hey, all the files for this website are located here at this web host. Now this is just verifying that we actually own the domain name, and that we own the domain name and we own the Google account, and it's just connecting the two. And so basically, what it should look like when you're in your site is like, this is Edge of David. So we have Blogspot, the edgeofdavid.blogspot, and it's redirecting to edgeofdavid.com, www.edgeofdavid.com. So to get started with that, it's very simple. So you want to log into your domain name registrar account. So for me, I use Namecheap. I recommend Namecheap. Now, just all you have to do is go to Advanced DNS. Then once you open up Advanced DNS, this is where you change everything. So right here is where you can add records. All domain name registrars work like this, where you can just go into the Advanced DNS settings and you can add in different types of records. So right down here, if we click on like add new record, we have a record, a plus dynamic AAA record, CAA, CNAME, and it's all this stuff. You don't need to concern yourself with any of this. The things that you need to pay attention to are CNAME and a record. Okay, so CNAME record should be this again. So we have this is the www and then ghs.google. That is basically a CNAME record. Then just do that www.ghs.google. Okay, and then you want to do the same thing here, 6446, like whatever it is, it'll be unique to your blog. And then this, which will be unique to your blog, go here, go to CNAME, put in the host, then put in the value, and that's it. And then click on save. Now one other little thing you could do is you could go ahead and add these A records in. What these A records do is that they redirects the naked version of your domain name to the www version of your domain name. It's optional. You don't have to do this, but it's a good thing to do personally if you want. So anyways, the A record is very simple. It's just 216.239.32.34.36.38.21. Really simple. Just add all these A records in, click save, and then just wait. Okay, so you just have to wait. You have to wait, I would say 20 minutes to 1 hour, because it has to propagate. This stuff is not automatic. So just have a little bit of patience. Don't just add it right away and be like, go here and save and be like, this doesn't work, it's not working for me. It's like, no, it'll work. Really, it'll work. Just go make a cup of coffee, come back in 20 minutes, come back in an hour. Just give it a little bit of time. But you know, this is literally edgeofdavid.com. This is my DNS settings. Like, my site is working, your site will work as well. So just go ahead and set up your custom domain name, and that is it. And then you should be good to go. Themes for bloggers. So how do you customize the theme? How do you upload a different theme to your site? That's what I want to show you in this section. So in this tutorial video, I'm personally going to be using the Blogger theme that I personally like, which is Emporio. That's the one I like. That's the one I'm going to use. But obviously, not everyone's going to want to use that. And I do find that Blogger is a little bit limited with their selection. They do have nice templates, but it's not for everyone. And so where do you go basically to get more templates? The first thing that you can always do is you can do like Blogger templates. Okay, you can take a quick Google search and just start searching for Blogger templates, but you need to be careful because people often just use Blogger and they mean WordPress. For example, like this 53 best responsive Blogger templates. Well, no, they're talking about like WordPress templates for people who want to blog with WordPress. They're not like talking about blogger.com. You could also do Blogspot templates, because Blogger, before it was called Blogger, was called Blogspot. But in general, the two famous spots to get are one, btemplates.com, and of course, ThemeForest. Again, with ThemeForest though, you need to be careful. Make sure it's Blogger. I always say that because like you don't want to pay and then it's a WordPress theme. And so just make sure it's Blogger. There's not a big selection, but there's enough of selection here where you can find something you like. But really, the biggest player in the game is btemplates.com. And so here, basically, your different templates, they have a nice mix of both free and paid. And so like, for example, you can demo the site or you can just download it. So let me just demo this theme, Maya. And so we come here and it's $14.99. We can buy now, we can check out a live demo, etc. So let's just go ahead and click on a different one. We'll go on Health Daily, and let me click on download for Health Daily. Okay, let me just back out of this, and this one is free. Okay, so if I want to download this right here, we just click on free download. Okay, so Health Daily is currently downloading. Now you just take this and drag and drop it to your desktop. Now it's a zip file. So now we need to open the zip file up. So let's just double click that. You want to go to where it says extract all, and then you want to pick where you want to extract it. So I want to extract this to my desktop, and we'll just go click on extract and click on that and that. Okay, so now we have Health Daily right there on my desktop, and now it's time to upload our theme. Okay, and so how do you upload the theme? Blogger makes it needlessly confusing. To be honest with you, you're like, where's the upload button? Okay, let me click on this. Where's the upload button? You actually have to click on restore. It's like, what? Yeah, I know. What? Why is it called restore? Why is it not called upload? I don't know, but it's called restore. So you click on restore. Then it says you can upload a theme or file from your computer. Okay, we'll click on upload. Now we just want to navigate to our theme, which mine is Health Daily. You have to extract it because if it's a zip file, it won't come up, so you can't do this. Okay, and there we go. And so now you want to install the XML document. That's what you want. So this one comes with Health Daily with slider or Health Daily without slider. So I'm going to go ahead and install without slider. We'll click on open. Okay, now it says restoring theme. Okay, restore theme, and there you go. So the theme preview for this theme, whatever reason, is unavailable. So but if we click on view your blog, you'll notice that the theme has been successfully installed. And so there you go. So just all it takes is just you finding a theme that you like and that you want to use, okay? And that's basically it. And so one other little thing is make sure to save your theme on your desktop or your computer or wherever, because for example, like what happens if I click a different theme? If I click on this one, I click on, I want to use this one, and click on apply. Okay, and then what ends up happening is like, okay, this one's active, and then wait, where's my other theme? What happened to the other theme that I just installed? It's gone. Okay, and so that's why you need to make sure that to save it on your computer, so if you ever want to go back to it, you can just quickly upload it again. But anyways, that's basically how you install a custom theme with Blogger. Okay, so now it's time to customize the design of our website. So with Blogger, you get an option to basically have a blog editor. To get started, you just navigate to theme, and then you want to click on the big orange customize button for the theme that you have active. And what will happen next is that the theme editor will load. Now, please note that Blogger is a free platform. You're getting free hosting, etc. So you are a bit limited. This is not WordPress with the Themify Ultra or Divi theme and drag and drop editor. No, you don't get that, okay? So you are a bit limited. Anyways, let's get started. So we have themes up top there. So this allows you to change the theme of your site and then edit and customize a new theme. Next, you have background, and here is where you can upload a background image for your website. Personally, I don't know why people do that. I think it looks super tacky, but again, teach their own. So if you want to go ahead and do that, you can quickly come in here and you basically select your own image, or you can click on this option right here to upload your own image from your laptop or computer, whatever it is you're using. And that is it. And so now under advanced, this is where we can get into the nitty gritty of the colors and fonts that we want to change. And so right up top there, we have, like, for example, body, and then we have body color, and I have the body color set to a slight gray right here. So if I want to change that, you just go ahead and click the color that you want to change it to. Very easy. Then you have different things like link color, links visited, link hover color, etc. So for me personally, I set all the hyperlinks within the blog post to be a nice strong red to really stand out and get clicked. I think red looks the best in terms of design. And that's it. And so now underneath the blog title, okay, so this is where you can change the font. And I like that when you click on a section there, it highlights the section down here so you know what you're doing. Now with the theme editor here, you can basically change the font to whatever font you want for your title. So you can upload a logo or you can use text. I personally like using text on Blogger. I personally like keeping things as simple as possible, but it's really up to you. I'll show you how to upload a logo in the next section. Anyways, let's continue. So basically I can just jump in here and I can click on a different font and I can change the font size here quickly and easily. So if I want to make this like a little bit bigger, or if I want to make this like nice and small, or maybe that's a little bit too small. Okay, so whatever, I can just jump around and change the font style as I decide, as I choose. Okay, so then that's basically it. And so right here we have header bar color. So basically I have the header bar color set to white, header icons color green. Really, you know, each theme has, you know, some options are not going to be available for your theme. Okay, so for example, if I go to body here, and then I have color right here, and then this is black. Like that doesn't change anything, because that's not applicable to this specific theme. And so sometimes you'll have options that don't relate and translate to the theme that you're using. Okay, so just also be aware of that. And that's basically it. So now if we go to do tabs right here, okay, so now we have the tabs highlighted, so I can quickly change the tab color, tab background. Tabs are basically the menu bar that pop up underneath here. I don't know why it's called tabs, but that's what it's called. So this is where you can come to change it. Okay, now with specific blog posts here, you can change the post background color. So if you don't want it to be white, you want it to be something else. Okay, and then here you can basically change just all the little details. We have like post text font, post byline color, etc. Okay, next we have sharing buttons down there. Now I'm going to show you how to actually install proper sharing buttons like this, because these sharing buttons are okay. Like it's okay that we have this right here, but this is just going to be ignored. This is aggressive, and you're going to notice this. This you're not going to notice. Okay, so anyways, let's go to block quotes. Okay, and so basically when you're in the post editor, you can set quotes. You can have a sentence and make it into a quote, and this is where you can kind of change the look and feel of that as you want. And then pictures, here you have pictures. You can edit pictures quickly and easily within your blog post. You don't really need to do too much within this design theme editor. Okay, then we have the sidebar. Again, same thing. Okay, we have a bunch of different options for colors and fonts, search bar, attribution, all that good stuff right down there. And so I'm going to show you next how to hide powered by blogger.com. Okay, and then we have the width of the site, so you can change the width and make it more narrow, whatever you want to do here. And then we have custom CSS right there. And then underneath gadgets is basically where you can just jump in and start editing gadgets. So for example, gadgets are basically like widgets in WordPress if you use WordPress. But anyways, like for example, we have blog archive. Okay, and so I have blog archive added to my sidebar there. If I want to configure it, I can just click this, and then a light box pops up, and I can jump in here and configure the look and feel of this option there. And that's basically it for the editor. Okay, you can basically change fonts and colors. You are a bit limited, but you have some flexibility to customize the look and feel of your site. Now it's time to upload a logo to our site. So you have the option to either go with text-based logo, which you can just change the fonts, which I just showed you previously, or you can upload your own logo. And now to get started with uploading a logo, you're like, well, where do I go? Do I click on customize? Like you would think it'd be under customize, but you'd be wrong. You want to go to layout. Now under layout, you want to navigate to where it says your header, and then right here we click the little pencil icon, and this is where it allows us to edit our header. So right now I have the blog title as set to this. Now if I want to have an image, I can upload an image right here. And now basically I can have the placement behind the title and description. Instead of title description, have description placed after image. And so basically if you're going to upload an image, I would definitely just go instead of title and description. And now I'm having it click shrink to fit because I want the image to fit appropriately. But again, my experience with Blogger has been like just the logos are a really frustrating things with the Blogger platform because they never look right. I'll show you. So let's go ahead, choose file. Let me just go ahead and click on desktop, and I'll click on the logo. Okay, so now right now my logo is uploading. Okay, and then we'll click on save. All right, so now I just uploaded a logo. So let me go ahead and reload, and see, it's a little bit fuzzy. And the reason is because it's being blown out. And now you're like, well, why don't you just make the logo bigger? Well, I've done that before where I've tried to make the logo bigger, but then it still becomes blown out, because if I make a bigger logo, then the logo just ends up being taking up the whole space up top there. The only way I've been able to fix it to get this to look nice and crisp and sharp is to basically reduce the width of the website. And so in the previous section, I showed you how to reduce the width. You can do that in the editor, but I don't want to reduce the width. I like the way that this looks. I don't want this to be more narrow. I don't want this to squish everything together. And so That again, that's what I mean. It's like this is just a limitation of Blogger. So you kind of live with it. So basically, it's going to take you a while to kind of figure out the logo and the right size and everything that would fit appropriately. But I'm telling you that this is going to be a little bit of an annoying aspect of using Blogger. So let me just go ahead and I will click on remove image. By the way, your image that you upload, your logo, should always be a PNG file, not a JPEG. Generally speaking, you want to upload JPEGs to your blog post because you want a image that's light and fast, that loads quickly. But you want your PNG for your logo because it's your logo. So it's your branding image. You want it to be, you want it to stand out, and you want it to be crisp and sharp. So anyways, that's basically how you upload a logo. Now, how do you make a logo? Your basically options are to either go to like something like Fiverr. And so with Fiverr, you can basically find a logo designer to make you a nice, easy to use logo. But again, I would go in and figure out what size fits appropriately for whatever Blogger theme you're using, because you don't want to waste any Fiverr seller's time. Uploading logo, and then they do it, then they give it back to you, and it doesn't fit your site, and then you're frustrated. Figure out the size that fits for your specific theme and template first. Or you can just use something like Logo Maker. And so Logo Maker is super duper simple to use. And so right over here, we have text options right there. So, I can have travel, travel, and then I'll just leave it like that. Okay. And we'll have this, and then I can move this down a little bit right there. Let me just go ahead and move that. And then I'll call this for travel forever. Okay. And then it's like, well, maybe I want this to be a little bit smaller, right? And so why don't I just reduce the font size there? I'll just do that. So like here you can drag and drop and make, to change the size as you want. Upload that, center that. Okay, and then let me go ahead and maybe make this forever. Maybe make that bolder and bigger. Okay, so there we go. Now, like if I want if I want to change the fonts, so it's like we click here, then up top there is where you can change the font style. Okay, so we can, there we go, leave it right there. Okay, so I can go here and I can come up here and go decorative, designer picks. So we'll go to designer picks. Okay, we'll leave that black, maybe make that a black in color. Okay, then forever, I'll come up here and we can just change something else, simple and modern. Okay, then I can change it to like a different font here. This is something that you just need to play around with. Change it to this one. Okay, then I'll keep it like red like that. Okay, all right, that looks all right. Now I can add an image as I want. So we can type in like this is a travel website we're potentially making. So I can go to Earth. Okay, type in Earth, and then you get a bunch of different like options here that you can like quickly select and use as you want. And so I'll keep it simple. We can use we'll use this option right there. Okay, and then I can put that right there, or I can like leave that behind the image. Okay, and so that is and so that's basically it. Oh, and just one other little thing, like if you want to ever like move the options, see how the Earth is like over the text. These are called layers. So you just click move here, and you can move the clip art, for example, and you can move everything behind. And so now it's nice, and now I can center the logo behind. And so like we can come in here, we could change this to maybe something a little bit more easy to read, something like that, like that. And there we go. So now we have a nice, like simple looking logo. Okay. And so this is logomaker.com. That's basically how it works. You just use text, use images, and you can create lovely, simple looking logos. And now when you're ready to download, you basically just go ahead and click on save logo. Okay. All right. We can click no thanks, download low resolution file. And there we go. And so your logo will be downloaded, and then you can just save it to your laptop. And then again, you can just jump back into your Blogger layout and then upload the logo that you just designed with ease. How to remove the Powered by Blogger from the footer of your site. So if we take a look at any of these Blogger templates, you're going to see something that says Powered by Blogger. Then we have this theme images by this guy right here. How do you get rid of this stuff down there? Okay, so it's very simple. So first things first, we need to understand why that appears at the bottom there. So if you go to layout, right at the footer of any Blogger blog, you're going to have the footer, and then you're going to have this attribution gadget. You can't get rid of it. You can't edit or change anything right there. So the only thing you can add is like a copyright. So I have like copyright David. Okay, so that's why you see copyright David right down there. But how do you get rid of this stuff? You're gonna need a little bit of custom CSS. Now let's just jump in. Let's go back to theme and let's go back to customize. Okay. All right, and so let's let the site load. And now we want to go into the advanced tab. Then you want to navigate there. You want to go to add CSS. Okay, and now we want to just hide this powered by Blogger. That's very easy to do. We just want to go in .blogger and then have it say display none. Okay. And there we go. So now the Blogger, powered by Blogger thing is gone. Now right here it says themes images by Michael Eklund or whatever. Now this is his image. So if you are going to design your site and you're going to use his image, you need to leave this attribution for sure. But with Blogger, you can change this theme to anything that you want. And so for example, let me just go ahead and click on themes and let me go to background. And then it's like if I select this one, for example, then it's like I'm not using his image. And it's like, why I got a link to your site, guy? Like, why do I got a link to your picture? It's not fair. And so that's when you should consider hiding this. And so to get started with that, it's very simple too. So again, you're just going to need the display none. But now you need to figure out like, well, what is this? What is this called on the site? And so to do that, it's very easy. We want to highlight this right here. And then you want to go to inspect. And then this tells us what to basically call it. So this div class image attribution. Okay, so that's easy. And so now we just go here and we go to dot and then we type in image. And then what is it? Image and then image dash attribution. Okay, image dash attribution. Okay, and is that it? That's it. Now we just want to take this display none. We'll take that, we'll copy that, and we'll go here, paste it there. And there you go. Now that div class has disappeared. And there you go. And that's basically it. Now, again, I want to emphasize if you are using his image, you need to have that attribution. But if you're going to just change it to like whatever you want or change it to your own image, it's really unfair to be linking to his image when you're using your own image. So anyways, that is basically how you change the powered by Blogger and any other random basically little element that's added to the theme that if you want to hide it or get rid of it, that's basically how you do it. So anyways, that's it for how to hide the powered by Blogger on your Blogger blog. Let's install Google Analytics for our Blogger blog. Now, installing Analytics is super duper simple. The integration's quick and easy. It's not technical at all. Now, Blogger does come with its own stats feature, which tells you basically how many views you're getting on a daily basis roughly, and it's okay, you know, it's not bad. It just gives you a rough estimate, but Analytics gives you that more specific detail over like what pages people viewed, how long they visited, how are people finding your website, where's your traffic sources coming from, etc. And the fact that the integration is so simple, there's no reason not to be using Analytics. So anyways, we just want to navigate to settings. And then under settings, you just need to go to other. And then right down here where it says Google Analytics, this is where you need to put in your property ID. And your property ID is going to be UA dash a bunch of numbers. And so to basically do that, you need to navigate over to Google Analytics. And to find Google Analytics is very simple. You just type in Google Analytics. Okay, and then sign in with the same email that you're using for your Blogger blog. Okay, and then just go ahead and create an analytics account. It's very intuitive. Follow the on-screen process and you'll get to this section where you're going to have basically your property settings. Okay, under property settings right up top here where it says your tracking ID, this is what you want to take. You want to just highlight this, right click, copy and paste this into your web property ID under here. And that is it. That's all you have to do. So that's basically it for installing Google Analytics. Now it's time to verify your site with Google Search Engine Console. Basically what Search Engine Console is, it's basically a tool for indexing that tells you basically what pages are ranking and where, what position you are in the search engine result page, how to better optimize your pages, phrases that people are using to find your website, etc. It's way more valuable and useful than Google Analytics in my opinion. And so this is important because you have to have Analytics already installed on your site. And once you have done that, then just navigate over to Google Search Engine Console. So just search for Search Console, literally just search for Search Console. It's the first result. You should be looking at a page like this. Now we want to verify our domain name, and so it's very easy to do. All I have to do is type in Edge of David, for example. This is my domain name, my Blogger blog, and we click on continue. Then it says checking verification, and then boom, ownership auto verified. It's auto verified because it's a Blogger blog with Google Analytics. So it's not techy at all, and that's it. And then all you do is click on go to property, and that's it. That's all you have to do. And so just make sure to do this after you have analytics installed on your Blogger blog. Gadgets in terms of designing your site. So let's just mention gadgets really quick. So gadgets are basically stuff that you put in your sidebar over here. Within Blogger, it's called gadgets. And so you can basically, with most Blogger themes, you can customize whether or not you want specific gadgets in the homepage or on a specific blog post. So what I personally have it set up is I just have the archive, which is basically the archive of blog posts that have been published, and I also have labels, which is basically, your specific categories that you've organized the blog posts under. Now, on the actual blog post, what I like to have in the sidebar is popular posts, because when people are on a mobile device, when they scroll to the bottom of the site on their phone, these posts pop up underneath, and then it looks really nice and it's very functional and useful for visitors. So it's up to you. But anyways, to get started with gadgets, you just need to go into your Blogger account, go to layout, and then over here is where you can start adding in different gadgets. So you got to basically pay attention to all these different boxes right here. So like this is the header box. And again, as we showed earlier, how to upload a logo there. You got to just pay attention to where things say you can add a gadget, because sometimes like attribution, for example, as we said earlier, like you can't adjust this anywhere. There's nothing to change. And so you have to use custom CSS, for example, to hide like powered by Blogger, etc. But anyways, with gadgets here for this specific theme that I'm using, I can add a gadget to my sidebar and I can add a gadget to the page. So right here, I basically have popular posts as I showed you. And on the sidebar for the home page, I have basically the blog archive and labels. So anyways, to add a gadget, just click on plus add a gadget. It's not rocket science. It's easy. Okay, now here you can add AdSense if you want. You can add blog search. You can add custom HTML or JavaScript. You can have your Blogger profile, which I showed you earlier about how to set that up. I personally don't do that. I would rather just create an about page. But if you really want like a little, you want your head in a bubble and then a little bio paragraph, you just do that here. Blog archive, page header, followers, image, labels, pages, checklist, text. You have a lot of different gadgets here. Personally, I would keep things simple as possible. Like what's the most useful thing in the sidebar is because most of your traffic is going to be people on their phone. So you basically just want to have like maybe popular posts, maybe your archive, maybe specific links to specific pages that you think are very important. And really that's it. I would really keep it as simple as that. But anyways, that's basically how you can adjust the sidebar by using different gadgets within Blogger. Adding share buttons to your Blogger blog is quick and easy. Now let's get started. So I definitely suggest you add share buttons like this to your site, because these are way more effective in getting people to actually share your content, because that helps drive more traffic, that helps send more social signals to Google, etc. Blogger and your Blogger template does come with different share buttons built in already, but like for example this one, it's not that effective personally. I like this way more because as I scroll, it follows me, for example, follows the user, so that makes it way more effective. I like that this is responsive. So for example, if I go to inspect, you'll see the share buttons pop up right at the bottom there and follow me as I scroll down on my mobile device. And it's just overall better. So to get started, it's quick and easy. You just need to go to a site called addthis.com. You can create an account completely for free. It's called addthis.com. You should be looking at something that looks like this. So this is the current share button that I have. It's called a floating share button. So anyways, to create your own is simple. You just go to add new tool, and then you want to navigate over to where it says share buttons. And then here you have the option to add a floating or inline share button. I definitely recommend going with floating. Click on continue. Now you can either select your own networks that you want to have, or you can have smart sorting, which basically will add the networks that are most appropriate for your traffic. It's really up to you, whatever you want to do. You could do selected by you, and I have like Facebook and Pinterest email, for example, whatever. Okay, and then you have a little bit more details here. So like mobile size, You can change the size of this. So if you want, for people who are on their mobile device, you want the buttons to be small, there you go, you can change that. Okay, over here you have the share account type. You have individual, share account minimum. So for example, like if you don't want any number popping up, say you can set it to like 50, for example. See, like people have shared this homepage because this is an old domain name, so this has been shared 500 times somehow. But that's basically how you can adjust that right here and have it, you know, share account minimum 0, 50, whatever, and that'll show a number or, you know, whatever. And then over here, okay, then we have the position on desktop and position on mobile. You can change it to the left, right. You can hide it mobile, you can bottom, top, or you can hide it all together. And that is basically it. And so when you're ready, just go ahead, click on activate tool, and then click on activate tool again. Okay, and then there you go. And okay, so now the only thing that you need to do next is get the code. Now I have 2 floating share buttons. You should not do this. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. If you have a brand new account, once you click on activate, you should be on a page that looks like this. Now all you need to do is get this script, highlight this script, right click, copy. Now you want to go into your Blogger layout, and then you want to add a gadget that says HTML and JavaScript. So again, you just click on add gadget, and then you want to navigate to where it says HTML JavaScript, because that's basically what we have. We have a script. Okay, so we'll just open this up, and there you go. There's my script. And then you want to have show HTML JavaScript. So this basically allows you to toggle whether or not the share buttons appear or disappear. So if I unclick this, that means the buttons won't appear. If I have it clicked, that means the buttons will appear. And so for my specific template, I have to have it in the sidebar for the home page, and then I also have it here in the sidebar for the item page. And so that's basically it. So that's why when people are on a blog post, the buttons appear over here, and are on the home page, the buttons appear because I have it added twice. And that's it. That's all you have to do. It's super duper simple, and it's a great way to really step up the design of your site, make it look a lot more professional, and get away from it looking, looking like a blogger blog. Now it's time to start adding some pages to our site. So my pages, I have essential reading, about, subscribe, contact, whatever, all those types of pages. How do you create these? How do you add it to your site? So the central pages that you really need, you're going to need an about page and a contact page. So let's do the about page first. And so this is my about page. We'll just open this up right here. The way I have this set up is just basically a nice image here, and then quick little text about who I am. So to create a page with Blogger is very simple. You have to navigate right here to this plus button right here. And once you click on this plus button, then it's going to take you to basically the page editor template, okay? And so you have the title up top there. And so you can just call this like about me, or if you want to give it like a catchy title, you can do that. So who is this guy? Who is this guy? Whatever. In general, I would keep it very professional and just something specific and related to the site. And so, for example, like if we just take a look at like website creativepro.com, the way I have the about page set up here is like you click on new, start here, and then it's like new here, what's this all about? And the whole about page is strictly about the website. It's not really about me. It's a little bit about me, but it's about like why I talk about what I talk about. And so anyways, it's just, we'll call this new here, what's this all about? Okay. Now to craft the about page, you want to make sure to basically constantly like break up paragraphs. You don't want any like large paragraphs here. For example, this is just like a 2-sentence paragraph, space, then 2 sentences, space, etc. Okay, and so that's basically how you want to approach this. So we'll say like we give this to, hey, my name is David. Hey, my name is David. My name is David. Okay, and then we'll just say I love to travel, etc. Now if I want to have this be a title right there, I can just go here and we can come here to basically the paragraph font size. So if I click on this right here, we have your headings right there. Okay, it's a little bit confusing, you'll get used to it once you've used it, but anyways, here I can call this like the heading 2, and then I can center that. Okay, so it's really important that you use H2, H3, H4 tags on the page, because that's how you break up blog posts and pages. So H2 means heading 2. Your heading 1, your H1, is always the title of the page. So you almost never need to be using H1. You should always be using H2. Now H3 is a subheading from H2. And so like if H2 is the like heading is cars, H3 would be Ford, like Ford. I don't know. Like, and then like H4 would be a subheading of H3. That's kind of like how you want to approach it. And then that's it. And then you want to go ahead and craft your your about me page. I would consider maybe go ahead and add like an image of you to do that. Just click on the image here where it says insert image. Then you can upload from this computer, photos, Blogger by URL, etc. So, if I want to like upload from my computer, it's quite easy. So we can just browse, or we can like drag and drop pictures as I want. So I can just come here. I'll click in this. I'll go into my pictures and I'll pick any random picture. Here we go. This random picture of me right here. Upload this. Okay. And now the picture has been successfully uploaded. Okay, now we can edit the image right here. So I can click on change and we can change it to like large, extra large, original size. So if like we can change the alt text, the title text, these are important as well for search engines. So the alt text should describe what the picture is. For example, like if the picture didn't load, like if someone's on a web browser and the picture didn't load for whatever reason, what's the picture about? That's what the alt text is supposed to do. It's supposed to tell people, tell search engines what the picture is. So don't put, if it's not about anything, then don't put anything. But if it's about something specific, then put something related to like what the image is about. But that's basically it. So you can change large, extra large. So I'll click on update. Okay, and then right here, we can click on this, and then we can have an add caption. So you can describe what the picture is about. And that is basically it. So let me just click on the preview button here. And that's looking quite nice. So we have the H1 tag right there, H2, my name is David, add caption, and then boom, we can have a nice description right there. And so basically that's kind of like how I laid this out. I kept it simple, I just called it about, paragraph right there. Nothing too complicated, but really that's all you need to really know when it comes to adding and editing your about page. So we'll just jump into the actual about page that I have. And so basically this is what it looks like on the back end. So I have this large image that fits the top really well, and nice little description of me. Now if we want to navigate over here to the search description, and so basically this is where you can add in a meta description, and you also have options over here so you can have reader comments. So obviously it's your about page. Generally speaking, I wouldn't enable comments on pages, but it's up to you. Search description, you can do this if you want. What the search description means like what is the meta description for the site. So for example, if we just search in website creative pro, for example, this is the meta description for the website. Okay. And so that's basically what you're doing right here when you enter a description here. So it says 150 characters. Yeah, like you want to keep it short and sweet because it's only going to be like literally a sentence. And so like for your about page, what you'd want to say, like David is a blah, 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 whatever your about page is about, whatever your website is about, that's the way I would structure it. And that's basically it for how to set up an about page. So now it's time to add a contact page to our Blogger blog. So adding a contact page is simple, but it's also a little bit annoying with Blogger, if that makes any sense. So like the contact page for Website Creative Pro, for example, we have a nice little paragraph and then a nice little form, and we're done. So simple. Now you may be wondering like, okay, I'll just do that with Blogger and it's easy, right? Not adding a form is actually really difficult with Blogger. There are technical ways where you can use the HTML contact form that's built into Blogger, that you can make it appear in the sidebar, but then you have to like use some HTML and CSS and hide it from the sidebar and then put it in here. Like it's really a little bit too technical, I think, for most people. So I'm going to show you the way that I found that I actually really like, and I think it's a little bit better, and that's to use Jot forms if you're dead set on creating a form. Now the downside of using Jot forms is it has this attribution link down here, but again, the thing I like about this form is that 1, it looks nice, 2, it's super easy to build in, and then 3, you can change where the emails go using this form, which is what I like the most about Jot forms. For example, with the built-in contact form with Blogger, all the emails are going to go to your email address that you use to create your Blogger account. And sometimes you're in a situation where it's like you don't want that. Like for example, like I have an email like hello@edgeofdavid.com, like that's my email, and like I don't want people to email me at this email that I use to set up this site. I'd rather have it everything be sent to hello@edgeofdavid. So anyways, let's just jump into the contact page. Now, contact page, I always recommend people just to keep it simple. Okay, just like having a little introduction, contact, keep it clear, like let people know where they are. This is H2, and then you're only a stranger once, and then keep it brief, 2 to 3 sentences, and then use the form below and send away. And you're like, what form? What are you talking about? Now, you can just list out an email here. You can contact me at david@gmail.com or contact me on my Facebook page. You don't have to use a form, okay? It's totally optional. But if you want to use a form, use something called Jotforms. And you can sign up to jotform.com for free. They do have different pricing plans, but they do have a free plan that allows your form to get viewed a certain amount of times a month, allows people to send a certain amount of emails. It's totally appropriate for a blogger. So anyways, this is my general inquiry contact form. And so basically you just want to go to this option right here where it says create form. I would definitely recommend using a template. And then once you're on template, then you have a bunch of different options over here. Just use something that says contact forms because that's what we want. We want a contact form, and then that's it. And then just pick the contact form that looks nice, that you think would fit your site, etc. And then you can just go from there. And so, like for example, I like this general inquiry contact form. And so, like we can just use template. And then what happens is that the form loads up. And now we notice that like this is a gray background, and it's like, well, I don't want this to be a gray background. I want it to be a white background because my site is white. So you gotta edit it a little bit, nothing too complicated. So we click here to go to the form designer, then the page color right there. We can go up top there, scroll up to white. Okay, and then there we go. We can also change this background image as we want. If we want to change the form color to something else, or we want just like light gray, etc. So, you know, again, like with everything else with Blogger, you are a little bit limited with certain things here, okay? But again, this is just a contact form. It's nothing that complicated. And you can also come over here to add specific elements if you want more than just name, email, message. And so here you have like full name, email, address, phone, date, appointment, signature, short text, all this stuff. I think it's a little overkill for a contact form. But anyways, when you're ready, all you have to do is click on publish, okay? And so once you click on publish, the thing that you need to do is you need to navigate here where it says embed, okay? Because we want to embed this on our page. And then again, you get another piece of script, okay? And that's it. Really, that's it. And so all you have to do is highlight, and then you just copy that. Then you want to navigate over to your contact page. Now you want to edit as HTML, and you're like, well, how do I do that? It's very simple. You navigate over here, and then this is the HTML view, this button right there. And as you see, I already have the form already added to these sites, and that is basically it. You just copy and paste the form in, and then the form will appear as appropriate. You may need to color and edit the form as appropriate, but do your best just to design the form in a way so it quickly and easily blends in with your site. I think this blends in with the site, and it's appropriate enough for our purposes. If you're just creating like a personal or casual about site, about me page, about website, a contact page, etc. And that's it. And if you want to just change where the emails go to, just make sure to go back to your Jotform and click on settings. Now, when you click on settings, make sure to go over to emails, and this send emails after submission. So this basically you can control where the emails go. And so right now I personally have everything set up to the email that I signed up to Jotforms with, which is how it will be set up for you as well. But then you can just come in here, click edit, and then you can just change this to whatever you want. So if I come in here and go to recipients, so I can add a new email. Okay, and so I can either tell me to upgrade my email account if I want to add a different recipient. So basically means I need to X out of this, and then let me add in a new email. So I can add in like hello@edgeofdavid.com, which is my actual email, and then click on save. And there we go. So when anyone emails me via my Blogger blog, it gets sent to this email instead of the Gmail account. And that's why I like Jotforms, because I have this simple control over this form. And last group of pages that are completely optional, and it really just depends on what you're doing with your site, are basically your various legal pages. So for like websitecreativepro.com, because this is actually a business, I have privacy terms, disclaimer. Again, totally optional with your Blogger blog. It depends. But basically the privacy policy is basically just discusses the privacy policy for the website, okay? And then terms of use and disclaimers. So anyways, I have a whole section on this on websitecreativepro.com. Let's just search for it. We'll just go legal pages. legal pages. All right, so how to write your legal pages. We'll just open this up. So basically your privacy policy, the whole point of a privacy policy is to tell your users what the information gathering process is like for your site. Terms of use, the point of a terms of use is to describe to people what they are agreeing to when they visit your website. Disclosure page, basically you have to disclose conflicts of interest that would not be otherwise obvious, disclose how your website makes money, and that's basically it. And so this is not really something that you need to worry about with most blogger blogs, especially if it's just more personal in nature or you're just getting started. This is really not something that you need to worry about, but it is something to take note of if you plan on maybe making money with affiliate marketing, or if you ever want to run Google AdSense on your site. Then you definitely want to go ahead and create, like, say, a privacy page. And then, for example, like, you should tell like how your site keeps traffic. You know, like every site has a web log, and then like if you're going to use Google AdSense, you have to have privacy policy stating that your site uses the Google Start cookie, and if users want to opt out, how do they do that, etc. You know, not too technical, but it's something that you just need to be aware of, and that is basically it. So if you want to know more, I have a whole section on it on basically blog/legal pages about how to basically craft your legal pages, just things to be aware of. Not something that you need to take care of right now with your blog or blog, but just something to be aware of if you intend on running ads on your site, doing affiliate marketing, etc. Right, so once you have crafted all your pages, how do you actually add it to your site? It's like, how do you get it so it appears up there? Very simple. You have to go to layout, okay? Then under layout is where you can start adding pages. And so we have the header section, subscription, and then we have page list hop. Okay, so pages, then we have the page gadget automatically installed. This is not something that we can remove. If you want to remove it, you just have to just unselect all the options. And right here, this is basically going to show you all the pages that you have created. So far I have a contact, about, subscribe, essential reading, but right now I personally have only 3 pages listed right here, and that is basically that's basically it. And so all you have to do is come in here and just add the pages that you want. You can also add an external link. So if you want to have one of the menu options up top here link to something else, say like ConvertKit, and you want to have a landing page for ConvertKit, and you want to send people to a squeeze page, something like that, you can go ahead and do that with that section. And that's basically it. Now it's time to start publishing blog posts to your site. So you should have all the elements of your blogger blog in place. You should have chosen a template. You should have an about page, contact page, maybe various legal pages, social share buttons, analytics, search engine console setup. We've hidden the powered by Blogger. We have a copyright for our own website. So all the little details are good to go. Now we can really just focus on creating content. Now with Blogger, there's a couple things just to be aware of. Now, first things first is this is your H1 tag. So this is the title of the blog post, and it will match the search engine description that you submit to basically Google and other search engines. You can't change this because with WordPress, you have control over being able to change what it says here and maybe make it something shorter than it's on the page, etc. Blogger, you can't really do that. Now this image right here is being populated by the video that I embedded. Basically with this template, basically any video or picture, the very first video or the very first picture that's embedded, it will automatically take that and embed it and make it the feature image. So that's why you see all these images. I didn't upload, like with WordPress, a lot of people think like feature image and uploading these. These are being populated by the first picture or the first video that's embedded on the site. And so that's basically how it works. And basically it just really depends on the template that you're specifically using. Each template's a little bit different, but in general, that's kind of like how it works. Okay, so anyways, embedding videos, I'm going to show you how to do that. Embedding pictures, super duper easy. And then what's more important is how to structure a blog post. So again, there's a couple little things right here. This is your URL structure at the top. And for example, you'll notice that there are dates. You can't get rid of dates, unfortunately, with Blogger. It's not impossible. There's a technical way to do it, but usually ends up breaking Blogger. You'll see other videos about how to publish content without using dates, but it just breaks your site. Blogger really doesn't want you publishing content with any other structure other than dates. So you're kind of stuck. You're just stuck using dates. I would just go with it. And then that is it. And so the section that you have control over is this little piece of content right here. And then you want to make sure your URL structure is short and sweet and to the point. So like the blog post title is Sony FDRX, best travel vlogging camera setup, and then just have it as Sony X3000 vlogging. And then, you know, you want to condense your URL structure to be the keyword phrases that are most important to these sites. Okay. Now, let's just take a quick look at it on the back end. So this is basically what Blogger looks like on the back end. To create a new blog post is super duper simple. So to get started with creating a new blog post, you just log into Blogger, you go to post, and then you just click on this little plus sign over here. And then that plus sign will take you to the content area to create a new blog post. So let's just take a look. So this is the Sony FDRX 3000 blog post. Now this top section right here, to change anything into an H2, H1, whatever title tag, very easy. You have to click this little hamburger menu right here, so you can have it H2, H3, H4, H1. There's almost no reason why to title this as the H1 tag, because this is your H1. And so I would just leave, personally, like I have this as a paragraph sentence, just a standard old sentence. And so now I wouldn't make this H1. It'd be making more sense to make it H2, but you don't have to. The way you want to go about with title tags like this with H2, H3 tags, basically H2 should be a subheading of H1, H3 is a subheading of H2, etc. A great example of this is this blog post, so that's why I have it open. So anyways, so for example, this is why I got the Sony X3000. This is an H2 title tag. Now I'm going to be going through the pros and the cons of this specific camera. And so right down here, so the pros, okay? This is the pros. Now this is an H3 because this is a title, this is a subheading of this heading, okay? And then I have bullet points right here, and then each of these bullet points is H4 because this is a subheading of this. And then I have a long detailed post about all the different pros of this camera. And then once we get down here, we go back to the cons. Okay, so now we switch from H4, but this is in H3. And then here we go, two cons, so that's an H4, H4 tag, all right? And then we do H4, H4. And that's kind of like how you want to break it up. So when you publish content, you want to make sure to keep your sentences short and sweet. Writing blog posts is a little bit different than like writing a post for like a page for university or school, okay? You don't want a wall of text. Notice like this is like two sentences space, two sentences space. White space with content is your friend. It makes it easier for people to read and consume. You also want to go ahead and pick font that's a little bit larger. Only reason I say that is because like people tend to stick with really small fonts. So you can change this via your template, and then you just go into customize, and then you can change the font size and the body font within the customize section. Now let's just take a quick look. So you have a couple different options here. So for example, I can highlight this. Now say like if I don't want to make this H2, H3, but I want to make this text bigger so it stands out, you can just go here to font size, and I can just go to like large, for example, and then it makes it a little bit bigger. So it's a good way to like lead in visitors to make the site. So I can make that like large, or we can make this huge, for example, and then we can make this one like large. And then it kind of like grabs people's attention. It lets them get into the blog post a little bit more if you want. Okay, so now we can add videos and whatnot very easily to our blog post. So to add videos, right here we go to insert video. Now I definitely recommend you upload videos from YouTube, okay? And so you just click on YouTube, for example, and right here I can just search for like X3000 vlog. I could just do that, X3000 vlog, and then we'll search. And then YouTube will basically tell me what videos. So my video is actually number 1 for Sony X3000 vlog. So we just click on this, and then we click on insert, and that's basically all I did to add the video. It's really that simple. It's really nice and intuitive. Okay, and that's it, and there you go. And so that's the way the video is laid out, and that's it. And so now as we continue on, so if I want to add an image, we can go ahead and do that. So to add an image like that, and then we click upload from computer. You can also add it from photos or Blogger or whatever, but we'll just pretend I'm uploading from my computer because that's what I think most people would do. Now you can just drag and drop images into place if you want, or you can just click on browse. So go ahead and do that. And then I'll click on pictures, and I'll click a random picture of myself. All right, and we'll click this one of me in Phujifa, Thailand. All right, it's uploading. And there we go. So now we click on the image, and then you can add a couple of different things. So here we can click the pencil icon. We have medium, large, extra large, or original size. So if I click on, we'll say like extra large, we'll click on update. Okay, and so that looks cool. Now if I click it again, now there's a couple things to note. Alt text, you should absolutely add alt text and title text. Now, alt text is to describe the image if like the image doesn't load for whatever reason. If someone's on a web browser and the image doesn't load properly, the alt text should describe what the image is about. And so if it's just for decorative purposes, don't put anything for the alt text. But if it's to help describe or something like that, along the lines of that, then you want to go ahead and add an alt text. And that's pretty much it for adding videos and imagery. That simple. Now, if you want to add links, super duper simple. So you can like just highlight a piece of text that you want to basically hyperlink right there. We can just click on this. Then you can create edit URL. Okay, and then here we go. And so we can link to web address right there, and then you can have it open in a new window or add a no follow attribute. You should basically no follow affiliate links because any paid links you should no follow. Even if it's an affiliate link, I would no follow. But otherwise, if it's a link off your website to a different website, it should open a new tab. So if you're linking internally to your own pages, don't open in a new tab, just have it open up in a website. But if it's into a new website, that's when you use the open in a new link feature. And that is it. And so that's basically how you structure a blog post. It's very simple. And so like here, I can click on this, we can add a caption to the image, and that's how you add video, and that's the H1, H2, H3 tags, etc. And that's basically it. And just get to work publishing content, writing, and then structuring the blog post and make it in a visually appealing way with nice white space to make it just easy on the eyes to read. Avoid big heavy paragraphs and break it up as best you can. Now, one last little thing is this section over here. So with Blogger uses something called labels. They don't use categories, but it's functionally the same. And so this is basically your category section, your label section. You can add as many labels as you want. Typically you want to create one blog post and add it to one label. And so that's what I would go ahead and do. And then the permalink here, basically you can set a custom permalink structure there. So if we take a look at like a random, we'll just do like example blog post. Okay. We'll keep that. Let's just say life advice, we'll minimize that. Then the permalink there, and it's like I can click on custom permalink, and then here is where I can set the custom permalink. And so that's why I emphasize to like just keep your permalinks as short and sweet as possible. Like this, like even though the page title is a lot longer, the URL, I keep it as short as possible. And that's kind of like what you want to do as well. And then one last important thing here is the search description. So here is where you can give a meta description for the blog post. So again, you want to just keep it short and sweet that describes the blog post. So once again, let me just show you a quick example. Websites, creativepro.com. This is your meta description. So you can and should add a meta description for your blog post. You just do that right here. Okay, and keep it short. And so keep keyword rich, explain what the blog post is about, and pay attention to your language because it is going to appear. And so, you want people to click on it, etc. You want to make something that's good and people want to click on and learn more about. And that is basically it. That's basically all you have to do. And then options here is where you can turn on or off comments. And that's it. That is it. That's how you structure a blog post within Blogger. It's very simple and intuitive. I think Blogger did a good job with the way they have everything laid out. And so you have this just basic menu up top here where you can bold, underline, italicize things. You can change the font type, font size. You can basically center, align right, input tools, just bullet points, block quotes, indent. You can have HTML, you can preview, you can view post, you can update the blog post with this, or you can revert to it as a draft right there. Very simple. I mean, I really enjoy creating content in Blogger. It's kind of like just a very basic text editor, but it gets the job done. And so that's basically it for how to craft blog posts in Blogger. All right, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing, hit that like button. If you are interested in building an income generating web property with WordPress, then I definitely recommend you check out my course, Plan, Build, Promote, Profit. Links in the description. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.